Good morning, everybody. We're kicking off a brew day here. Listening to the Mexico run, which is in full swing. Night 2 was last night. I watched the webcast, had a good time. That's what we got going on right here. Lovely January 15th. So, what we're doing today is more malt experimenting. You know, I experiment with yeast a lot. We all experiment with hops, yeast, but lately, in the last year, I've kind of really been on a malt kick, especially recently. I'm trying all kinds of different base malts. Today, I am making a German Pils with Weyermann Bohemian Pils malt, which I have heard very good things about and never used. So the people at BSG Handcraft hooked me up. Gonna have about a 1050 Pils. It's gonna be a smash beer, the one malt, and then German tradition hops. I got my lager yeast starter, 2124 Bohemian lager. Got the dogs barking at me, and yeah, gonna be a good day, I hope. Also, will my Packers? How will they do against the Cowboys today? I'm expecting the worst, hoping for the best. Catch you later. What's up, guys? Sorry. I'm just watching some football. Did you guys watch that Packer-Dallas game? Holy moly. Got some beers going here. But what I was going to do is give you a quick update on that beer. I came home from watching the Packer game, which was something else. The good guys won. I love it. Anyway, and I checked on the beer, and it's already fermenting. So, let's see if we can do a little checkup here. And it was cooling down. It is bubbling a little bit. And yeah, off to a good start. Packers play the Falcons. We'll see if they can keep the streak alive. Oh, yeah. Alright, guys. This thing is rocking and rolling. I've moved it to my slightly warmer room. I had it in my coldest room for several days. It was about 46 in that room, and I gave it, a good amount of time to get going in that room. And then I thought, well, let's give it a little bit of a warmer time. And then when this gets down a little bit more in a couple days, then I'll bring it back up to a room where it's like 60 plus for a few days.
Well, April 1st you can. We're going to announce it April 1st.
It's fine. It doesn't matter.
Come on, you know you're a story, a news breaker. Look at that. Nice.
Alright, so here we are trying the German Pilsner made with Weyermann Bohemian Pilsner malt. That is the only malt in this beer. It is a smash beer because this is an ugly bottle, so I'm going to put it over there. So smash is one malt, one hop. So German Pilsners are often just Pilsner malt and then some hop. And I use German tradition hop. And cheers.
Cheers, brother.
10 pounds. 10 pounds of it. You know what? It's looking especially clear right now.
No, it is.
Look at that.
Glorious.
Beauteous.
It's got like a slightest bit of like tannish orange hue to the yellow.
Right, I mean,
straw.
it's not watercolored, but it's very light in color.
Tradition, man. Tradition is such a legit grounding hop. Like, just tastes like hop. Tastes bitter,
Tastes
grassy, little bit of spice.
So
Nothing
this
like
beer
insane.
does have, and maybe you're getting to that or commenting on that, is it has like a little bit of bitterness. It's not like a sweet
Mm-mm.
beer, but
Like
it's also
like
not.
a Hams or something where it like
Or
finishes
like
clean, sweet.
no, I don't want to say cream ale, but like I don't know if you were just like a Helles, like a German Helles. When I make those, they're a little bit like sweeter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's not a lot of hops in this. 1 ounce at
This is
60, 5.9% alpha acid, half ounce at 30, half ounce at 0. So what I did is I tried to look up some information about this Weyermann Bohemian Pils, and there wasn't a ton of information that I found, at least very easily. And I was also looking for people's experience on using this malt. I just didn't find a ton of it. There is a floor malted version of this malt, which I don't think is what I used. But this says it is a lager style base malt produced from Czech barley varieties Bojo,
And
Bojo,
Bojo and
and Tolar. You know those two dudes. That is a comedy team
Tolar.
that cannot be topped. The Czech grown grain is specifically processed specifically for this Bohemian. It has quotes. Bohemian characteristics to impart a full body, golden blonde color, complex maltiness to the finished brew. It's good for Bohemian Pilsners, Belgian ales, blah blah blah.
Wow.
One thing that I also liked is that
That's important.
these malts, the actual barley is a descendant of this other kind called Hana or Hana, Hana, and that was the first malt variety used in Czech Pils.
Oh, no joke.
So this type of a malt coming from Germany, this type of variety is sort of a historic, traditional type of a malt. So that's kind of also kind of fun to know. But I
when
think
they put Bohemian in quotes, what do you think they're going for? Kind of toasty.
If you think of
They clearly are trying to
region
say
of like Czech Republic and Germany. I don't know exactly where Bohemia is, but I mean it's a lagery.
Yeah,
light
I would say I don't think it's
lagery.
geographic as much as they're trying to insinuate a certain flavor profile you'd
Yeah.
expect from a Bow Pale.
Yeah.
Bow Pale.
Bohemians, they're very artistic and creative and kind of crazy, right?
Yeah, it tastes very creative.
I guess I was
No, this
saying
tastes
off camera
very
that
legit.
to talk about what's the benefit of this malt and the character of this malt, you almost would want to be comparing it to something else, which is what we're not doing, at least in a side-by-side. But it makes I'm a little gassy. We've been drinking some other adult beverages, but I think it tastes like really basically as advertised. I mean, but I think that this malt gives you a beer like it's supposed to. It gives you especially when this is the only grain, but it's light in color. It has a wonderful lager, Pilsner character. That's sort of a nondescript thing. I don't know if you want to talk about crackeriness, breadiness. It just has a really yummy flavor.
Yeah, cracker and toast.
The yeast,
It's darkish.
was a
though.
nice clean yeast.
It's a little bit darker than I would have thought for a smash with a kind of a lager grain. So
I think-
I like that personally instead of being
Right.
looking like a glass of this.
Well, I think there was a time when I made a German Pils with raw Pils, and in memory, and I do have some pictures, that it maybe was the slightest bit lighter in color. That was the
I could see
lightest beer I've ever made in color, was just using the raw Pils.
100%.
Yeah.
Raw pills.
And this is pretty
Well, see,
light,
you
but
do
yeah,
have
maybe
something
there's
to
a...
compare it to. Not
in
side
memory,
by
right.
side.
This went from 1054 to 1009. Made it January 14th. It's March 26th. So that's 2.5 months ago I made it. It got kegged in February 4th. So it's been kegged for 6 weeks. And that's kind of how it's gotten nice and clear. But I guess this is kind of what this whole thing about using different malts is, this kick I've been on. Barca Pils last summer, Chevalier this fall, the Ashburn Mild in the Thirsty Pagan episode. Now this Weyermann Bohemian Pils. Coming up in the future, there's a craft maltster that I'm going to be getting some grain from somebody and making probably a couple of different beers at least out of this other malt. So this is kind of the I think malt is the new hops in a way. It's sort of everyone's. I mean, hops are always going to be interesting, and you're going to want him to be tried. New hop varieties, new hop. Hop powder is lupulin powder is now this new thing that's coming onto the market. But also just experimenting with different malts is a fun thing to do too. But this is a nice Pils malt. Now, do I like this better than the Barca Pils? Hard to say. They're both very good. They're both probably two of the better Pilsner malts I've used. I think the Barca Pils is Weyermann too, though. So I guess you got to go to Germany to get the good Pils malts. That's not entirely true, but anyway, thanks for having me over, and been drinking some dandelion wine. Look for a chop and brew on that at some point, and we'll catch you later. It makes I'm a little gassy. We've been drinking some other adult beverages, but I think it tastes like really basically as advertised. I mean, this thing tastes with it's made with oh my gosh.
Are you going to start that over?
No, I'm just get all this bourbon done here. Bam.
Don for Don. O for O.
Do you want to try? I actually didn't pour that all out.
Oh yeah, I'll just have a little sip.